This is ocean acidification by Brad, Nico, and me. So what is ocean acidification? Well, ocean acidification happens when carbon dioxide is absorbed from the atmosphere into the ocean. Between 1/3 and 1/2 of CO2 emissions have been absorbed into the ocean from the atmosphere. When ocean acidification happens, the ocean's pH level gets lowered, meaning it becomes more acidic. So far, the ocean has become more acidic by 0.1, so its pH has been lowered by 0.1, and it is projected to have been lowered by another 0.5 by 2100. Higher levels of carbon dioxide emissions also speed up ocean acidification rates. So the more often we are emitting carbon dioxide, the higher levels of ocean acidification. So I chose to do the environmental perspective on ocean acidification and its effects on the environment. So there are many problems with ocean acidification. The Environmental Protection Agency stated that many organisms are negatively affected by ocean acidification. These include mussels, urchins, crabs, shellfish, crustaceans, any organisms that calcify, meaning that they build shells. Coral calcification rates dropped by 32% as a result of ocean acidification, meaning it took them 32% longer to build their outer protective shell than it did before ocean acidification. And mollusk ocean acidification rate also dropped by 40%, you can see in the graph here. Fish were also affected by ocean acidification. They suffered from cardiac arrest, the main species affected being the yellowtail. So the main solution I found to help prevent the effect of ocean acidification was to monitor the calcification rates of organisms in sensitive areas, meaning that if we can monitor how long it takes them to build their shells and how they're affected by that, we can tell the actual effect of ocean acidification and how drastic measures we need to take to ensure the problem is fixed. Some pros of this is that it tells us exactly what the problem is. We'll know exactly what percent ocean acidification is slowing down calcification. But some cons are that it's very expensive, and the closest projections we have aren't until the year 2100. So it's going to take a long time for us to really determine the extent of the damage ocean acidification has caused.
I decided to do the environment and economic perspective. Ocean acidification is a serious problem. Luke M. Brander, a research stated that coral reefs provide coral mining opportunities, recreational opportunities such as diving and snorkeling. They help real estate prices, and they are a diverse natural ecosystem. They also provide coastal protection and are nurseries for fisheries. Scientist Leo Mohammed Yasir Haya stated that the TEV, or total economic value of coral reefs of an Indonesian coral reef, is $11.9 billion. Coral fisheries are also affected. Ann Spears says that they experience losses of $49 to $69 million. One of the solutions is to switch to green energy. This is the use of natural power to provide things like buildings and cities. Dominic Dudley, an author for the Forbes magazine, proposed that people switch to green energy. Green energy is cheaper than other non-renewable sources. For example, hydroelectric power is 5 cents per kilowatt hour. Solar, biomass, and geothermal power are 10 cents per kilowatt hour. Offshore wind is 13 cents per kilowatt hour, and oil and gas is 5 to over 15 cents per kilowatt hour. Lots of energy is able to be harnessed from these sources. For example, one day gives enough energy to power what people use for more than 1 year and more year. There are some caveats to this though. The infrastructure is not in place to do this, and some sources of energy are intermittent. This means that they only provide power in some periods of time.
So I was the political perspective, which basically looks at governmental policies and worldly policies being made to help relieve ocean acidification. So some problems brought up by the political perspective are facilitating worldly policies, which basically means policies being made by other countries, not specifically the one that you're in. For example, one country could be working on a policy to help relieve ocean acidification, and another could be doing the opposite of that and hurting ocean acidification. And another problem is that some policies don't work out. For example, the Paris Climate Agreement worked out in all the other countries that it applied to except for the US. So some of the solutions brought up by Kogan Rafe in the peer-reviewed essay of development of ocean acidification are to create relationships. So creating relationships will create a bond between other countries. And an example of this is Britain and the US recently joined a bunch of other communal countries to join the Ocean Acidification International Coordination Center. And another solution brought up by him was to create a step-by-step process for when policies don't work. This helps to take different parts at a time and effectively implement them. And some pros and cons of this. So for creating relationships, they form a union and could potentially set up new trades for those countries between each other. And for the step-by-step, it's a good, effective, and well thought through, most likely to work policy. But a con is that it's very time consuming and takes a lot of money. An example of this, the NOAA spent 9.7 mil researching and 134K on development of strategies for helping to relieve ocean acidification, according to Kogan Rafe.
In conclusion, ocean acidification is a serious problem. There are many problems that cause this, such as calcification and high economic loss because of this. Out of the 3 solutions that are monitor calcification rates, make policies, and switch to green energy, switching to green energy is the best one because it lowers carbon emissions and is cheaper than non-renewable energy. And this is our work site.